Hello and welcome to True Crime Network. Unfortunately, a murder has taken place at a movie theater in the local area on a Saturday afternoon. According to staff, 5 women bought tickets, but only one of the women was found dead in the movie theater. The victim died due to being strangled. Forensics on the scene did report that blood from the suspect was found under the nail bed of the victim. Let's do a gel electrophoresis to help solve the murder. The green and purple lines are alleles that must be closely compared and observed to help determine who was actually the murderer in this situation. A chart will be shown. A chart that has both locus 1 and locus 2 together will be shown to help make this comparison easy and to help also be able to look at the differences side by side. As you may note, when looking at locus 1 and locus 2, the distances might be different and similar in certain areas. And that's okay, because it's okay for it to be able to change, because the more DNA that you look at or include when doing an electrophoresis, the more concentrated it can be. For locus 1, as you can see, the victim's DNA does not match the evidence. Suspect 1 and suspect 2, both of their alleles match the evidence, the alleles. Suspect 3 only matches the first allele, which is the green one, for both suspect 1, suspect 2, and evidence. But suspect 4 doesn't match any of the alleles for the evidence. For locus 2, the victim's alleles do not match either of the alleles for the evidence. Suspect 1, both the alleles do match the same alleles for evidence. Suspect 2, the alleles do not match either alleles for evidence. Suspect 3, the only allele that matches is the first allele, which is the green one, and it matches for suspect 1 as well. Suspect 4 matches completely when it comes to both alleles. Now, the true question is, who was actually behind the murder? And also, who can be excluded when it comes to looking at DNA? When looking at both locus 1 and locus 2, the victim can be excluded because the victim does not match the DNA for the evidence in both loci. For suspect 1 cannot be excluded because the DNA matches for both evidences in locus 1 and locus 2. Suspect 2 can be excluded because the DNA only matches for one time, which is in locus 1. And it needs to match for both in order for it to actually be the full-on murderer. Suspect 3 can be excluded. Suspect 3 in both locus 1 and locus 2 only has one allele matching the other DNAs that is similar to it. This is because it is a biological parent. And it would be, suspect 3 would be the biological parent to suspect 1. And this means that suspect 3 is the mother. Suspect 4 can be excluded because the DNA only matches the evidence in locus 2. And like I mentioned earlier, it needs to match in both locus 1 and locus 2 to be the murderer. The true murderer in this situation happens to be suspect 1. I hope you enjoyed watching this murder mystery, and I hope you come back for more. Thank you.